Is the crypto market entering into a bear market because it continues to go down and down and down? And the reasons for this is because there's so much FUD and negativity out there that is causing panic of investors all around the world. That's why the market is going down. We were very bullish. Things were looking very good until all of this FUD has started to come out. Now, in this video, we are going to be taking a deep dive with some real information to see where the market is headed, at least in the short term, and where we are headed in the long term. So make sure you watch this video until the end. You cannot miss anything that I have for you today in this video. What's up, Miles? It's ladies and gentlemen here. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss these time-sensitive videos. And make sure, if you love cryptocurrencies, if you love Dogecoin, if you love Shiba Inu, if you love Ethereum, go ahead and smash up the like button to an all-time high because it really helps to support the channel that I make these videos for you for free. But most importantly, it helps to get this information to people who need to hear it. And if you want to get access to the most profitable crypto trading community in the world, get early access to new cryptos that launch, and also to follow all of my exact trades, have a portfolio managed, have a look at your portfolio. You can message me every single day, even talk to me on the phone. Go ahead and join the Patreon right now, where I'm putting constant updates to let you guys know what to buy and sell in this crypto market. In addition, I have a course to teach you technical analysis at milesginvestments.teachable.com. Go ahead and check out those links in my video description. They will certainly help you in this crypto market. Make sure you also check out the other links that I have not mentioned, like my Twitter. Follow my Twitter, follow my Instagram. I highly recommend it. Great information out there for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into the video. So if we go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap, we can see the entire crypto market is down nearly 4%. That is certainly significant, as we are seeing Bitcoin down 4%, Ethereum down 4. And if we keep going down, we see most cryptocurrencies are down, except in the top 10, we are seeing Solana up 2.3%. Very interesting to see that. But most cryptocurrencies are down, and we are continuing to head down, and it's likely that we're going to continue to head down much further this week. One of the main reasons for this is because President Biden is going to be most likely enacting an executive order about cryptocurrency regulation this week. Now, what this regulation concerns of is he's asking a bunch of the agencies within the government to take a look at cryptocurrencies and how the government can regulate CBDCs, how the government can interact with cryptocurrencies. So honestly, it's nothing major, but just the words of it, the whales are using to manipulate and cause and instill panic and fear in people to bring the prices of cryptocurrencies down further. And that's what's really happening. But that's not the most important thing. As we talk about every single day, the reason why we are seeing this FUD that's dropped the red is because of the Russian invasion into Ukraine. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, the potential news of it happening is causing more fear, more panic. It's causing the market to sell off. So that's why we are seeing all of this red. And it's nothing to be panicked about. It's nothing to be worried about. Yes, if Russia does invade Ukraine, we may see a drop in the market. We may see a big crash in the market. Nobody knows what will happen. But because of how the market has already dropped so much already, it is likely that all of this fear and the FUD of Russia invading Ukraine is being priced into the current market already. So a lot of times the actual event of something really terrible, especially if it is anticipated, the actual day of the event won't be a terrible crash. The crash has already been happening because of people already suspecting it to happen. So people are selling because of it. And eventually, if the news comes out where Russia does invade Ukraine, the market may drop, the market may even go up. We don't know. But it is likely, since the market has been going down already because of this. So it's going to negate to a degree how much we will crash if that does happen. Now, let me know in the comments below. Do you think Russia is going to invade Ukraine? And if it does, how much do you think the market is going to crash? I personally think if Russia does invade Ukraine, we could see a 20 or 30% flash crash. A very quick move. But if we are on our toes, if we are watching very clearly, which I do in the Patreon to help you guys know to buy and sell at all times, if we are having a careful eye on the market, we could make a lot of money very fast. Because if there's a big crash, we buy that crash, and prices could get very, very, very cheap. Like Bitcoin could drop to 20K, 25K, 30K. And those type of events, if we buy the dips there, we can make lots of money very, very quickly, because we know and we see it over and over again, especially if you have been in cryptocurrency for at least a year or so, 6 months, you see that whenever there's a huge flash, fast crash, the market bounces up very, very fast. So overall, I want to show you guys some very important information, so keep watching. So, just continue with what we are talking about. We see crypto fear and greed index, that we are continuing to be more fearful, so that the market, the sentiment overall on the internet is continuing to be more fearful day after day after day. And that is certainly one of the factors pushing down the crypto market. Here is this, some very good information. That is very true. It says, analyst says that Ethereum price could fall to 1,700 if the current climate prevails. If Ethereum were to fall to 1,700, Bitcoin would fall to probably 30,000. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, a lot of these cryptocurrencies would see a very big correction. And this certainly would affect a lot of these small altcoins, as this article is saying that it could have a huge effect on altcoins. But what we are seeing right here is that Ethereum and the whole crypto market is having strong resistance, that we're having difficulty break this resistance level, and that's why we are getting rejected. And the macro trend projects further downside. So what we are seeing on a larger time frame and a larger scale behind the scenes is that, at least in the short term, that we are seeing a potential downwards move, a bigger downwards move, another correction most likely happening here very soon. But after all of this Biden FUD, after all of this Russian invasion FUD, there's really not much FUD that's going to be affecting the crypto market too terribly. So I think after all of that is said and done, that we're going to see a very big bounce, most likely in March. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments below. But despite all of the negative news out there, is also positive news. There's always positive news out there. But whenever the whales are trying to manipulate the market and push the prices down a lot, we certainly will see a lot of negative news articles, because the whales, they like to use the negative news articles to push the investor sentiment down, which pushes prices down so that they can buy cheap. That's what's happening. But here's some good news for the whole crypto market. It says Bitcoin in active supply nears record, as over 60% of Bitcoin stays unspent for at least 1 year. And only 2 times before has a proportion of available supply been so overwhelmingly stationary in its wallet. So this is actually a very good sign. And what it shows is that strong hands are there, that there's people with diamond hands in the crypto market. They're very bullish. And when the inactive supply, as we are seeing, has not been touched for over a year, which is 60% not touched, people are very, very bullish in the crypto market. So that's a very interesting thing to see in the current market. But most importantly, continue to watch, because I have some better information. So I'm going to be completely real with you all, as I have been real this last week, telling you guys the market is going to head lower. And ever since I started making my videos showing you guys, look, there's some potential bearish signs happening. We started to break down, and I called this breakout to the downside days ago. So if you've listened to my videos, if you watched and listened to my Patreon messages, you would have saved yourself a lot of money by exiting the market, as I had exited the market once we started to flip bearish multiple times. So as we see, this is the Bitcoin chart, which is also pretty much the same for Shiba Inu, BNB, Ethereum, XRP. Everything is pretty much the same as the Bitcoin chart, but the Bitcoin chart is more consistent with every cryptocurrency. So that's why we like to take a look at the Bitcoin chart. But we can see on the 30-minute time frame, it's going to be very consistent with a lot of other time frames, is that we are seeing a downtrend. That Bitcoin had a top here, the whole crypto market had a top, and we tried to break that resistance level and we failed. So we have a rejection here. So a rejection also is a reversal, a signal of a reversal to the downside. So previously the trend was in a bullish trend. We were in a bullish trend all the way since the 24th of January. We're headed up, and the 10th of February, that's when we started to see a downturn. But we did see a pretty big gain in the market. If you did trade in the Patreon, if you did do some trade alerts, you would have made a lot of money with some of these alerts. Like Shiba Inu went up over 100%. We bought Shiba Inu, guys, right here in the bottom, making us lots of money. And then a lot of us were able to sell, also take some profits, and now we're waiting for the next play. But here's the thing. The market is starting to flip and confirm bearish, as we are now seeing a downtrend, guys. Look, a downtrend is lower lows and lower highs. Look, the highs are getting lower, right? And also, here's the lows. Here's a low here, here's a low here, here's a low here. The lows are getting lower. So it's very likely, as the trend is your friend unto the end, that we are going to continue to head down. But how much further down are we going to go? Nobody knows that, but it is certainly possible, as I have been mentioning in my videos for literally the last week, that we could see a bigger correction. And we did get that bigger correction that we did point out, that I said, guys, look, based on this current area, we are bearish, and I think we could see another 10 to 15% move to the downside which we are getting near that. So we are seeing a 6% move to the downside right now. And I would not be surprised if we see that full 10% move all the way from this area up here. So that 10% move, guys, is another 6% in the market. So we could see in the next day, the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow, we could actually see some green tomorrow. But it is very likely that we're going to continue this downtrend until we start to bounce up. Now, I would not be surprised if we do get a relief rally, because as we see in the stock market and in the crypto market, you can't be red forever. And no matter how bearish things are, they're not going to be red every single day. It just doesn't happen. There's always going to be a couple of days of green mixed in between the bearish stuff, because you have bulls. They're still trying to fight. There are people still trying to buy the dip, still trying to gain control of the market, which are the bulls and the bears, always fighting. So we are certainly due for a little relief bounce, a little relief rally, because guys, look at this. Look at us. Every time there's a lot of green, there's always a little dip, right? And every time there's a little bit of red, there's always a little bit of green, as we see in every type of trend. So we've seen a lot of red. We are certainly due for a bounce. We could actually hold up this area and get a bounce. And I think based on the current FUD and just all the crazy news out there, that yes, we could certainly get a bounce, but we would most likely continue the downtrend with the lower lows and lower highs headed down here. Ultimately, with all of this FUD out there, we could certainly head to that area where we saw in the 24th of January. That's certainly possible. I hope we don't see that area because that would invalidate a lot of things, and then we could actually see a lot further downside from this area. But if we do end up holding up, if we only see a 5 to 10% correction from this area, and then we start to bounce up, we can continue this downtrend. But we will have confirmation of that with the charts in the Patreon and in my videos, guys, for free. I will be showing you a lot of this information for free. So make sure you stay tuned with notifications on so you do not miss these alerts to know when to get in and out of the market to make the most money out of the market. Now, if you want to follow all of my exact trades, as I'm a professional crypto day trader, go ahead and join the Patreon, the 3rd tier, where you can actually speak to me on the phone. I can take a look at your portfolio. You can follow my exact swing trades. We're doing small little trades, especially while the market is very volatile, guys. When the market is volatile, even when it's bearish, there's these little bounces that we can capture, that we can see before they happen by taking a look at a bunch of indicators, by taking a look at the charts. There's a whole bunch of information out there to know where we are headed. But in conclusion, yes, the market is bearish in the short term. We are headed down the next week, the next couple of weeks, but here very, very soon, I am expecting us to continue this bullish trend, guys. Continue this bull market this year. I think cryptocurrencies are going to do some amazing, crazy things. So it's not FUD, it's not terrible news. We're heading down. It's not the end of the world. We're headed down for a week, maybe a couple of weeks, and then we're going to continue our way back up. Not the end of the world, but we want to be aware so that we can make the most money in these situations. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you got something out of the video, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with a friend or family member, and I will see you all later.